Hello, property nomads. Hope you're well. Absolute genius. This article that's come out recently, and it's a great way to avoid paying the ULEZ charge in London, and it basically involves driving a tank through London. I'm sure for those who are that way inclined, that is a genius thing to do. I quite like the idea myself. But I find it funny that it's even things like that are even an option to do in the 21st century. What I would say is, although that's the headline of this particular article, and surprise, surprise, someone has set up a company where you can hire tanks and just drive them around London. It's interesting that you don't get charged for any military vehicles, although the ULEZ doesn't actually tell you what is defined as a military vehicle, because obviously you've got all these different vehicles that you could use in the military, these jeeps and so forth. I just find that hilarious. That's one way to get around a TfL charge. But what is interesting as well is that you could also avoid a ULEZ charge by any vehicle that is at least 40 years old. So if you drive anything that's pre-19, I'm going to say 1983, then that's also exempt from the rule as well. But all of that being said, if you don't want to go out and drive a tank through the streets of London, which, I mean, by all means you should do, but if you don't want to, I understand. But what I find very interesting is the bottom of the article, and it says here that for Christmas Day, drivers will not be charged as they go about their festivities. However, the ULEZ kicks back in the following day. And the thing that irks me the most, and I don't live in London, although I do sometimes go and work in London, I don't live in London. But what irks me is that they can just turn these things off with a flick of a switch. Turn the tap on, turn the tap off. And I think that's the most criminal aspect of all of this, is that you've got all of these cash cow incentives being bought in, because let's just be honest, TfL's got no cash, Mayor of London wants more cash. They'll all obviously point a finger at government when in fact maybe they should have managed things a bit better, managed the public purse a bit better, and they need ways to make as much cash as possible. But of course, they still have the ability to turn that tap on and off as and when they want. That's why, just on Christmas Day, there won't be any charges for ULEZ, but for every other time, there will be. And I almost find that incredibly criminal itself. So, going back to the tank, I don't mind if people want to do a big FU to the Mayor of London, to all these cash cab schemes that are coming in, because there's just going to be that sense of satisfaction, that sense of Britishness, where, do you know what, we've had this thing imposed on us, rightly or wrongly, more than likely wrongly. We've had this thing imposed on us. I'm not standing for that. How can I avoid paying a ULEZ charge? Do you know what? I can get into a tank and drive a tank through the ULEZ zone, and I'm not going to get charged. And I think people will take a massive satisfaction out of doing that. So hats off to anyone that has done that. If you do that as well, please let us know in the description, in the comments below. I just find that hilarious that you can do that, but also, criminally speaking, the fact that they can just turn it on and off as and when they want to, it's just criminal. It really, really is. And unfortunately, these ULEZ zones are going to be bandished around a lot more in a lot of other towns and cities up and down the UK. And again, hey, just come out and say it's a cash cow, and I think people would appreciate it a lot more. Whatnot. But if you fancy avoiding the ULEZ charge, then get yourself a nice historical car or drive a tank. Why not? I might see you on the streets of Croydon at some point driving a tank. Watch this space. Please do us a small favour by subscribing to the channel. That would be absolutely fantastic. It helps us to push out more content. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.